Welcome to the Monday Social, coming to you this week from Room 21 in Stockton. Never mind sunshine indoors, I think we've got a sports fest going on indoors here tonight with snooker, pool, darts, all sorts going on. This week we're going to talk about the last few fixtures we've had, last couple of pre-season friendlies, back-to-back defeats, so get in touch with us on YouTube, see what you think about that. And we're also going to talk about things in the transfer market, or what's not happening in the transfer market at the minute. Welcome to the show, lads.
Good evening, James.
We all okay? We all okay?
Good
stuff.
Thank you.
So, another week, and all that's happened in terms of transfers. One outgoing, Fabio going.
Yeah.
What have made of things in the past week, Tony?
Obviously, Fabio was desperate to be away at Christmas.
Yeah.
Gone. Like you say, Pulis hasn't hardly used him. I think he came on his sub against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
He was very rarely used by Pulis. I think the lad has been wanting to be away, so like you say, he's gone on to pastures new.
Yeah.
And like you say, if they don't want to be here, James, it's better.
Move him on.
But he's been a great servant
Yeah,
for the club for I'd say the short time he's been with us.
And £2 million we got for him. Foxy, you think that's a fair deal?
Maybe it's not a bad type deal when you look at, like, say, the £5 million we spent on McNair, he could potentially be a really good player, but he's a gamble. But I mean, as you've just said there, quite rightly yourself, it's not as if the door's been wide open with other people coming in, and that kind of worries me, that who you replaced him with, what you're looking at. As Guesty rightly said, he came on against Sheffield United and he actually looked decent for me, playing out on the wing.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether what Pulis is thinking is and how versatile that team's going to be, and whether he keep players to come on and play a different role like he did with Sheffield United. But I would have kept him.
Yeah. Just another thing, I know we'll talk probably more in depth next week about the upcoming season, but you've seen other clubs in the Championship at the minute are starting to spend a bit of money. Derby have brought a few players in. Stoke, obviously the team's been the favourites at the minute. Looks like they're bringing Tom Ince in, James McLean, Bennett Before—he's gone there.
Etihad as well, the Nigeria. Great looking player.
Forest have got Lewis Grabban.
Good signing.
Carvalho, another Portuguese midfielder. Do these sort of things concern you, lads, at the minute? Other teams seem to be making a bit of a move in the transfer market.
Especially with the statement we've seen tonight from Pulis that he's going to have to sell Adama. Do you know what I mean? And that's quite concerning.
For peanuts.
Where we've, like you say, in the May, we've seen two come in.
Yeah.
And then it's gone static.
Yeah.
Transfer window closes on August the 9th.
2 weeks,
and Pulis is saying today that the best deals are done on deadline day. Do we really want to go to deadline day and end up with losing Adama, Traore, Ben Gibson, Assombalonga, Braithwaite? I know Braithwaite's just came back. Bamford, all these players are being looked at.
And for 4 months, then what are you going to do?
Then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And also, like Guesty's saying there, I mean, for me, the Adama saga is just a farce, because if that was going to be the case and they already knew he was going, that should have been done instantly the next day that the season finished. And as you guys are saying there, bring players in and get them gelled together. That's half the battle in this league.
What's worrying me, Foxy, is last season, Christmas time, Pulis had come in, he took over from Monk just before the transfer window opened, and he said he's not going to spend none of Gibson's money. Mm-hmm. Now we're here at another transfer window, and he's not spending none of Gibson's money. Yeah. So what money is available to him?
Yeah.
Is he going to have to sell?
Surely
to buy, this parachute payment.
Yeah.
30 million, 40 million, whatever it is, he could bring another 2 players in on that.
To turn that off.
You know what I mean?
I think the thing is also for me as well, the one thing I would say is that you can argue that Flint's a good player to bring in, but arguably that wasn't really a position we needed to strengthen.
No.
Especially on the basis of what we're talking about. If Gibson goes, he goes. But within that, as we've talked about a lot, there's other players in that team. I know me and Rob have talked about it with Shotton. Shotton's a centre-back. Shotton can play centre-back in this league with Arala. And there's probably other players in there that we could mention, Friend possibly, and whatever, maybe not. But the whole thing for Boro, and I think you guys would, I know you guys will agree, his attacking options haven't been there for 4 years, really. We've dipped in the water with Ramirez when we were in the Premiership, we didn't get back with Carranca. Ramirez goes, and we're left in this thing where we have like the Tomlin episode. We've brought in players. Last season we had the whole thing with Howson coming in who plays that role and didn't play in there. Clayton was another one. Then we've stumbled across Traore, and yet we're now going, well, I'll tell you what, he can go anywhere and we're not going to sort of plug the gap. Although we've talked about there's Tavernier, there's Lewis Wing, and there's Ashley Fletcher maybe.
It's a lot to put on their shoulders, expecting them to replace what Traore brought to that team if he moves on. And like you say, it's not just that as well. It's also talking about centre forwards as well. We're talking about Guesty got injured on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
Sam Belonga's been linked with a move to West Brom, hasn't he, in a swap deal?
I mean, if he goes to West Brom, he will score 20 goals there, 100%. And the thing with Guesty is, have we not seen by now that Guesty actually is injury prone? He had it at Blackburn, he had it at Villa, he's had it at Boro when we started to play well and he started to score goals and he's gone. And then, well, Pulis likes him. And if you didn't know that, the minute that we played Aston Villa in the second leg and he couldn't wait to bring Guesty on and move Bamford out wide when Bamford had been brilliant.
And that's all right. I don't mind having somebody like a Guesty, but I don't think Rudy Guesty is the answer.
No, I agree.
I think we need a better model than him up front.
I agree.
A better version.
And I would think Bamford would be it. He's proved last season he can score from every type of goal, and he's industrious.
Yeah.
He likes to make you work for the ball.
What was the crazy stat about Guesty when he signed for the Boro? Was it he's the longest, the only player, the player to play in the most losing sides
when he was at Villa,
without scoring a goal. You know what I mean?
Do you know the only person second to that is Giroud's goals are on target shots in the World Cup, but yet he gets a game because of they're the way they're set up. Yeah. I know we're not France and stuff like that, but as a model, we haven't got that, and yet we're carrying people. And as you've said at the start of the show, what's happening with it? Where's the sort of new blood to make all them players go, well, bloody hell, I need to play you.
Yeah. I mean, one player that has come back today, and I don't know how much he'll be used this season, and if he has any future beyond the next 2 weeks, is Martin Braithwaite.
Yeah.
Think he's got a future at the club, AJ?
You know what it is? I would wave him goodbye now.
Right.
Me personally, he said that he didn't want to play for us. That's pretty much what he was saying. A few months back was basically saying that his time here, he didn't want to play for us. He wanted to go back to Bordeaux. Of course, saying now inside the Europa League, I'm pretty sure they qualified for the Europa League last season. He was saying pretty much that he wanted to go. So in terms of him putting on that Boro shirt, I'd rather him not.
Right, but what you were saying there, we were having the same debate about Ramirez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we stuck with him, didn't we?
No, the kid went.
And all when Leicester wanted him.
All we've done then, when Leicester turned his head and he wanted to leave, all we've done then is mourn. I wish we'd have kept Ramirez.
Yeah, but do you want somebody here that doesn't want to play for us?
Depends how professional he is, because if he wants to come on and put a performance, which I think Ramirez did put some good performances in because he was wanting to go.
He got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah, and he spat his dummy out, and he had a great game against Swansea, I remember, at home, and there's other games we can talk about, but that one in particular, where he scored his goal, Bournemouth, sorry, but we have known this now since before the season ended, that we need fixing in certain places, and the club have let us get to the point where we're just about to kick off again, and we ain't fixing it, and we're trying to put, and you said there,
it's scary
we're looking at
how slow we've been in the transfer.
So do you think Braithwaite should leave?
If he doesn't want to be here, if he's come out and said he doesn't want to be here, I know, listen, right, if he can come here now, right, and he can prove to us all that he genuinely didn't mean what he said or whatever,
I mean, he had a
give
poor World
100%
Cup
every game, then that can be forgiven for what he said. But if he comes here and does Ramirez and doesn't give a hoot about whatever.
But then now I think you've got a point in both sides there, but the problem that you've got is if you do risk and gamble him and you play him and then he decides in a month I don't give a damn, we're left for 4 months then with what we're going to fill the gap with. But if he does come in and he wants to play, we know that he's only going to play till January and then he'll be gone anyway. So either way, for me, the club has missed a heartbeat, because that is a role, a position that needs fixing one way or the other. He's going to go or he's going to stay the way he's going to go long term. He ain't going to stay, he doesn't want to be there full stop. So the level of where footballers come in and are selfish and then they've knocked a performance out and the fans get behind and then they leave anyway, it's been there since the dawn of time. But
what I would say maybe about this situation that's different to the Ramirez one is, I think Ramirez, he knew he could get away with it when he had Steve Agnew in charge and there wasn't really a proper manager. So that second half of the season, after Karanka left, he did what he pleased because he probably knew he could get away with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think Braithwaite's the same sort of character, and I don't think he would try it on with Pulis, to be honest. I still think he'll probably want to be away, but I think for him it's a bit of a wake-up call, and he's gone to France for so many months and teams still haven't wanted to take a punt on him. Whether that's because we're asking too much money for him, I don't know.
I mean, do we have this in football a lot where, years ago with Craig Hignett, when they told him they didn't want him and he went to Scotland for a pre-season, didn't have any wages, bust the place to pieces and then he couldn't stop starting him. I don't know whether there's a level where, where a player then, if he's got the right mentality, goes, you know what, I'll prove you wrong. And then he does get embedded back in. But I think we're juggling at the moment in a lot of positions, Boro, and I think that's just another one of those positions where you look, Ashley Fletcher's back. I rate him. I think a few of you
massively,
guys do. There's a player in there. But is he going to give him the confidence to provide that? Or are we going to be left in another kind of square peg round hole? It's not looking too...
I mean, I think we said on last week's show that I personally was quite pleased that he didn't go out and throw a lot of money straight away like Monk did last year, because it's come back to haunt us a little bit that I think a lot of money was wasted last summer.
Yeah.
So I can see why Pulis is waiting a little bit, but I think maybe in reflection on the last week, I nearly used that word there, in hindsight. In hindsight, what's happened in the past week with those two defeats, and especially Saturdays, you're starting to think now
the manner
actually
of which it happened. And
there's a lot of work needs to be done to that team in the squad.
And there's a lot of people, obviously, what we reported on Saturday with Borofantv, oh yeah, give the lads a chance, it's only a friendly. It was the manner in which the way that back four performed, whether it was a friendly or not a friendly.
And I thought that was our strong point of our squad before.
Which was highly concerning, James. A penalty, conceded a penalty and 3 goals.
Yeah.
In the, like you say, within 20 minutes.
Which is
And
really,
we had
really
that.
poor.
Every player on that pitch with a Boro shirt on
potential
defensively,
Yeah.
is, like you say, that could have been our
Start
starting
11.
back.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing. When you looked at the team on Saturday against Accrington before the game, I thought that's probably not going to be a million miles away from the team at Millwall.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't think you can just turn it on and off like that and just say, well, that was pre-season 2 weeks ago, and be ready for a game at Millwall, where you are going to have to be at it from the off for that match.
Do you not think in a way that football is such a simple game when everybody has a role and understands it and has a relationship, but also everybody's working? I agree with you, do there, that a work ethic needs to be there. Whether you're playing Whitby or Barcelona, you set up how you want to start the season, because you can't just all of a sudden go to Millwall and go, I'll tell you what, we'll run even harder, we'll concentrate. It's worked on in the training ground. And for me, I've said this for a long time now, no reflection on these people at all. But for me, although they've got a good up-and-coming sort of potential, Woodgate and Curtis Fleming, coaches have to be wanting to improve every day to improve their staff, and I don't see that at the Boro, that we've got a level of coaching staff that are good enough to improve the players we've got, i.e. concentration, or whether it's just being organised and doing your job. I don't see that. And for us to go 3-0 down and come back, great, but then to lose that again, it shows that whatever it was that was there is still there, and it's not being worked on. And as you guys have said there, that's a worrying stat. Give away 4 goals nearly in 20 minutes. Obviously it's a missed penalty, but we're not going to get that in the Championship. If we go 3-0 down at Millwall, we aren't going to come back.
No.
I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic,
league, man,
but it's different
level, isn't it, man? If you go 3-0 down in the first half at Millwall, you're right. You know
it's
what I mean?
warning signs, isn't
We
it?
have to score 4 in the second half. You know, we've seen it over the years, man.
It's all Accrington is a siren going off to say you can't let these things continue. You'll get away with it today, but as you've just said, different league, different opposition. Hell, go see it.
But it seems to, like you say, we kept a clean sheet against Spennymoor, but I don't think we've kept a clean sheet since.
Which is
like you say,
very worrying.
pre-season, we, like you say, try not to put too much emphasis on it,
but there's a level.
It was worrying when the manner which we conceded.
And also, Pulis has built his whole career on teams being hard to beat. And if you were telling me that that's pretty much our back 4-5 with Dale Fry there, if you want, then there's got to be a lot of work. I don't think we should be getting no sleep. For me, in the next 2 weeks, we should be training morning, noon and night, really.
And that's it, and I think it's all got to be geared towards that game at Millwall a week on Saturday. And if we get a positive result there, then great, and people forget about these things at Accrington and stuff like that.
Totally.
But I just think, like you say, it's a little bit of a wake-up call for some people who are very quick to think, oh, well, it's going to be all right this season, we're going to be up there, we were up there last year.
We're tall, we're strong, we can physically
we'll be able to. I think you need a little bit more than that going forward and at the back as well.
Well, on the physical thing, we're a big, strong side. Accrington, they were little lads, and they were nippy as, and they were in and out of it. It doesn't matter how big and strong you are. Someone's passing and moving the ball better.
You can't do nothing with it.
Like Shotton was showing up something terrible on Saturday. You know,
you're totally
Friend
right.
was a bit better going forward second half, but even he was getting done. You know what I mean? And like you say,
this whole thing with having a tall, strong team, I get it in certain positions. You know, there's having tall centre backs and having a tall keeper and maybe a tall centre forward. But then realistically, that old style, that age of football died a long time ago, where everyone's, because the game's getting less and less physical.
We've just had a World Cup where attack was king.
All about attack and all about
getting forward, getting
forward movement,
forward.
being quick,
eye pressing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's not about being able to rustle you off the ball, because I'll get booked half the time. I want to do it.
like you say, Pulis, Allardyce, these type of managers, I think their course is run.
Dinosaurs.
Pulis has his purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And I hope he does do good for the Boro.
Totally.
But it's like
You can't see it.
But do you think he's just trying to maybe follow the method that Neil Warnock did last
Yeah.
year at
Yeah.
Cardiff and get up that way?
And I also think that with Pulis is that what he's done in his career has worked.
Yeah.
I think that if he'd have gone to Sunderland at Christmas, they'd have kept them up.
Yeah.
Because all those fighting, all that you want to see from your players, that should be a prerequisite. You should pull that shirt on and you should fight tooth and nail, regardless. That's just should be who you are.
Yeah.
To say that that's something that a manager brings for me is something that I worry about. I want to see a manager bring other things, ideas. Last season we spent so much time with Traore, the biggest, loudest secret in the league, getting the ball and 5 men being on him, and him not once thinking to play a ball or have 3 runners giving it to all that space.
Yeah.
All it is space football. That's all it is. You get it or you don't. And he didn't want to use that method.
And it felt like we were worked out in the playoffs against Villa, weren't we?
Completely.
Yeah,
and now we're at the
massively,
point in
yeah.
pre-season where we're just building players that are big and strong. Nothing's been learned. And it's so basic. But, as you say, we could go to Millwall and blow them away.
Yeah.
Then, you know,
Happy days,
brilliant.
Yeah.
But, as you said also, you do the right things from the start.
Yeah. Talking to players who maybe could offer us something a little bit different and that aren't really playing the club, we had Lewis Wing, who scored a great goal last week against
Fantastic,
Augsburg.
yeah, great
You've
goal.
got Marcus Tavernier, who's playing for the England under-19s at the minute.
Scoring goals.
Yeah, scored goal, assisting.
Would you like to see these lads possibly
Yeah.
being
I
given a chance? There's talk about them going out on loan again.
I think that's mental.
How long do you keep giving lads out on loan
But
for?
doesn't that tell you everything you need to know about what Pulis, what he wants to play? Tav was brilliant when he made his debut against Bournemouth. He scored the goal. He was brilliant. I know it was a cup game, but Bournemouth put up a decent fight.
Even Sunderland at home when he scored against
Sunderland at
Sunderland.
home, good point.
And then, you know,
what
he
else
sent
do
out
you
on loan and it frustrated me.
I mean, as a fan, how frustrated we are. How
Yeah.
must he be thinking?
It's fantastic.
What have I done there? I've come on and scored, and yet you still.
Absolutely.
We've got a young kid there, what is it, Armstrong?
Yeah.
And he's gone to Gateshead.
Yeah.
What benefit is that kid going to get going to Gateshead?
Nothing.
Look at George
for the
Miller's gone to
season.
Bradford.
Yeah, another one.
centre forward.
So-
You know.
I dare say, I might be wrong here, but I think he would be as good a bet as Guesty up front.
Yeah.
Who's that?
George Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry
Glad to
Chapman,
see
as you
anything
mentioned
of him.
earlier.
Harry Chapman won
Harry
it, yeah.
Chapman, but I think Tavernier, I would honestly, I don't know how many people agree with
He's
me.
brilliant.
I know Stewie Downing's there, but I would honestly give Tavernier a run out on that left hand
Do you
side.
not
I
honestly
really
think
would,
as
mate.
well? I know we have a Downing conversation.
Or even as a number 10. But
I know we've had conflicting views on Downing for the last season, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, and that's everyone's. You know, that's fine, and that's how it should be. Your view. But for me, do you not think that would be the kind of thing that would make him maybe just think, you know what? I am a Boro lad. I am a Boro player. Someone like Tav playing in a position might up his level in training.
Absolutely.
And I just think we're missing a beat with that. Again, like you say, but when
See, what you've just said that. What I'm trying to recall is, I think Tavernier and Lewis Wing made the debuts for the Boro against Scunthorpe in the
Yeah, it was
first round of the whatever it's called now. And I think when Gary Monk seen that's when the likes of Tav and Wing,
They were involved throughout the League Cup run, weren't they?
and they were involved in a few league games.
right,
Wing was
yeah.
on the bench, and then Wing he got shipped out somewhere crazy.
went to Yeovil.
Yeovil,
Yeovil, yeah.
So Tavernier was a massive part of the squad up until Pulis coming in.
It's
Do you
funny,
know
that's
what I
a
mean?
good point, that, and I think it's funny that people want to just say that Monk was garbage. I don't think he was. I think he just couldn't settle on 11, and he had money to spend, which, as we've seen with other managers in the past, they go to a club, they get all this money, and David Moyes was one at Man United, and you struggle to spend your money where you're good with a closed team, which is why Monk did well at Birmingham. He didn't fake that. He had a squad that he could use, and that was all he could do, and he made the best out of it. I think that he made some good decisions within that, as you've just mentioned with those two. But then he baffled himself. And whatever else was coming out of the club, too much he was confusing players from what people like Ledbetter have come out and said, and his team talks were horrendous and this, that and the other. But I just think that there was something in there for Pulis when he came. There was a nucleus of some real talent there that he just kind of went, not interested. This is how I play. This is how we're going to play. It backfired. And to think we're back in that position still, and these guys are maybe potentially getting low. You'd be great if you were a low league team thinking that go out and get it.
Port's a fun Tavernier, don't you? But I think keep him, mate.
I'd rather keep him. Even if he's someone on the bench.
I watched that position
Something
is.
different.
Yes.
Marvin Johnson's Tavernier and there's Down and all challenges
Yeah.
on the left hand side. If Tav was put in, That would, I think that would honestly up down in training, and Johnson. Obviously, Johnson doesn't get much of a look in either.
Can I ask you this? Would you be prepared to maybe sacrifice the season to bring in a bit of young talent, a bit of kids coming through, and maybe just try and build a team like that?
No, we sacrificed the season.
I think it's tough because I think this year's our last year of parachute money, isn't it?
Really?
And I think then, if we don't go up this year, the pressure's on to do it. If we don't go up, you could be then looking at another 7, 8, 9 years down in the Championship.
Do you not think as Boro fans we need to look and think, you know what, we're not doing the right things off the pitch to be challenging? Because Villa were garbage too, and we couldn't get anywhere near their goal, and that worried me. I don't think we've improved from that point. We've got worse, if anything, and I just think other teams now are doing stuff that Karanka, for example, we were talking about that. We all know what he'll do, and now he's brought in good attacking talent. I don't want to play them this season.
I think up until March, April last year, we hadn't beaten the team above us. I think that was Derby then.
Yeah, Christmas.
You know,
I mean, Sheffield United away was appalling.
That was the most depressing stat from last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you knew you were going up against the Fulhams. And the Villas, and we were losing 1-0 at home.
Even Norwich away, I thought to carry on and early sending off, and then we were back again.
Yeah, I mean that was Guesty, wasn't it? But then what he did, he had it rescinded, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have been played for me. Purely shouldn't have played him. It was a bad tackle. He shouldn't have made it, and he should have stuck with it, even though it got rescinded. Said, "I'll put you on the bench, start a Sommerlonger or Bamford or whatever it's going to be." But he didn't want to do that, and I think that set a precedent then. Yeah. I think that set a precedent then of what's going to happen there for me.
I don't want to get us wrong. I don't want everyone out there to think we're totally negative.
No,
and
we're
down.
not being realistic. We're just being realistic.
I think it is that, and I think there's a lot of Championship clubs that are in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think yes, like we said earlier, Stoke have done a good bit of business. Derby have brought some young lads in with potential, but it might not work
Chelsea
out.
youngsters,
Forest, like you said, have brought up. But there'll be a lot of other teams like West Brom, Swansea, will be also thinking, we've got to go back up. Are we in a position to go back up? Like you say, it would have been nice maybe to have been a little bit further down the line with some signings.
But Swansea are a team that I would watch out for this season. They've got a good manager. He's coming. He did really well in Sweden. Or with especially in Europe against Arsenal. He's an English guy. They've got some really talented players at Swansea, and they've kept one of the Ayus too, who will score bags of goals in this league.
If they can hold on.
If they can hold on to him. But the way it's going is if, I mean, like you say, can Boro all of a sudden. We've talked about this before where we might be doing signings in secret here, and all of a sudden he says there, and I know this won't happen, I don't think. There's Vokes, there's Adama, for example. There's, all right, crack on. I'll be happy with that. But we keep seeming to get mentioned with players like a Matt Ritchie, Matt Phillips, and all of a sudden they want him and he's over there then, and I think.
Yeah, there's a lot to do still, isn't there? And just before we'll move up the subject of Adama Traore. Obviously, at the minute he's linked with Wolves and Huddersfield, and they're all talking about this 18 million buyout clause. One, do you expect him to be at the Boro in 2 weeks' time? And two, do you think he'll end up at one of those two clubs or elsewhere? What do you reckon, lads?
Watching him against Spennymoor and watching him on Saturday first half, I think in his head he's already gone. You can see the desire and the commitment. It wasn't there at Spennymoor. It wasn't there the first half against Accrington. Obviously, they must have had a roast in that half time off Pulis. And he's came out, like you say, the Adama, Traore, we all love. But like you say, the likes of himself, the likes of Traore and Gibson, I think they're playing within themselves because I think there's most probably something in the pipeline. I might be wrong. Do you know what I mean?
I think you're right.
But,
I think you're right.
But if he goes, like you say, fair doubt.
Because I think also, your point that you're making there is, I think if everybody in that club knew Traore was playing, they'd possibly try to build a team around him. And they're making more central, or they're making more of a... And as you've said there, they're just keeping themselves treading water, keeping themselves ready for the bid. It's been talked about for months. The thing that baffles me is when they signed Traore, they obviously rated him and they give him an £18 million clause to get out. But within that, he's become double that price this season. And for me at Christmas, when Pulis come in, he was a £2 million player. Pulis has improved that kind of way to the point where he is a £30 million player. And we're still prepared to go, nah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're not going to make you stay for the season and earn your crust to help us get up. We'll just let you go. And it's just a worrying sign for me with the way that business is done at that club. We don't know whether Pulis' hands are tied and he can't sort of, as you said, we need to sell to bring in. So we don't know whether Pulis is wanting to bring these players in, but we can't get Traore out quick enough off for the right price. Someone at the club's going, no, he's going for that price. There seems to be a lot of disjointedness coming out of Boro, and I feel as if that's been there for a while with confusing.
For me, I sort of panic on the basis of I kind of see a 50-50 thing here. If he stays, I see Weghorst over output than Traore.
Yeah.
If he goes,
Yeah.
are we going to see sort of boring, we don't have an output sort of football? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like if he stays, we have to go and get someone along the lines of sort of a Matt Phillips sort of player.
Yeah.
Someone that's on
Have
the other
another
side,
option.
someone that can, sort of. Because at the minute, teams are switching
too
out,
easy
because all
to
we
read
do is we go sort of Randolph, George Friend, Gibson,
Completely.
Shot and Traore, run with the ball, see what we can do.
If you put 5 players on a Ronaldo or Messi, they're not going to
Yeah.
do anything. It's about being clever with him,
Yeah.
and we just don't seem to be. We've just kind of
He hasn't got a footballer's brain yet to be clever.
Yeah.
He stands and waits.
That should be
You can
coached
hear the
into him, though.
instructions coming off. I was taught you can't coach a person with his ability. Do you know what I mean?
I disagree.
You've got to have it up here to know, right, I've been studying ages and I haven't had the ball.
Yeah, but he's lazy like that, and he
But
doesn't want to find the space.
You've got to have it in you to think, right, if I just come short or if I go inside, you've got to have that in your brain.
I think he just relies on the pace that he's got because he
Yeah,
knows it can
because
get him
he-
out of all sorts
yeah.
of
Our
trouble.
whole team relies on them,
Do you not think, and this may be, I know people may think what you're talking about, but for me, I saw a little bit of arrogance in him towards the end of the season where, give me the ball and I'll skin everybody. And it's
what
kind
he
of,
wants.
but it's kind of at the point where he hadn't played for that long, that he knew it was all about him now. And so it was kind of like the showman at the circus. But for me, I don't think it's difficult. If you can get him to play that well, I just think there's levels where you can find a way of, a teacher for me, as you know, is the one, if you can't teach that class, it's not the student not learning, you've got to find a way of teaching them, and I think there's a way of teaching that guy to be smarter with the ball, because he is smart with the ball, but it's instinct, and I just think, I hear what you're saying, but when people say to me, he hasn't got the talent to be, I don't think, if you can be the best player in the world, you still have that ability to learn.
Bundles and bundles of talent. He's just, like you say, at this moment in time, he hasn't got a footballer's brain. Obviously, he can run with the ball.
Pulis was obviously getting something out of him.
He can
towards
run
the
with
end
the
of
ball.
last season.
He can put the ball in the box now.
Yeah.
He is quality on his crossing.
Yeah.
It's just the other bits that need tinkering with, showing for the ball and not just standing and waiting.
But I think that comes in part of his kind of arrogance that I won't run for the ball, you pass it to me.
Yeah.
And that's just how I see it, but I just genuinely think that players should be, and coaches should be able to coach into somebody. You've got the ball, there's a man's free, give him it. And I just think if you can't do that, then as much as I love the guy and he's brilliant, he's only going to overtake you so far before your whole team becomes about him, and then the team's affected then, because no one's bigger than the team. And that's kind of where we were at last season for me. And Villa just took him out the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about him a lot more
Well,
before.
it's a good-
I think it's going to go right.
conversation,
Yeah, I think it's
isn't
going
it?
to go right up at the end of the transfer deadline. What's going to happen with Traore? So I'm sure we'll have a chat about him again next week.
Yeah.
We've got 3 games left before we start the season. We've got obviously Rochdale tomorrow night, Sunderland Friday night, and then I think it'll be a mixture more like an under-23 team that probably goes to Hartlepool on Saturday. What are you expecting to see, AJ, in these 3 games that come up?
I think it's so important now that we're, I think it's 12 days out from Millwall now.
Yeah.
And I think, I said it earlier on, obviously, off camera and whatnot, it's important now that we start seeing performances from the players that are trying to push their hardest out to get in that starting 11 against Millwall. So tomorrow night, I know it's only Rochdale, I know it's only a pre-season friendly, but what I would love to see tomorrow is players giving 100% and seeing them players that genuinely want to be in that team, trying their hardest to impress Pulis. You know what I mean? Almost if you say, big me, look how hard I'm
Do you think
working.
he'll start the same 11 tomorrow night?
I'd just like him to try something different.
Yeah, I think instead there'll be some people get a bit of game time tomorrow that didn't on Saturday.
I would love to see him go 2 up front tomorrow night.
I'd like to see him play the same back 4 and try and drum in if that's the way it's going to be, and not have these mistakes that you guys are talking about, because I think that...
But when you think of it, at the club, right, you've got Pulis, you've got Curtis Fleming, you've got Jonathan Woodgate.
all defenders.
Sam Ellis was a defender as well.
There's not one forward-thinking coach in that club.
Yeah, and you can see that.
And like you say, let's try something different tomorrow. Like AJ said, let's try 2 up front.
Why
You
not?
know what I mean?
Bamford and Fletcher. There's pace there.
Obviously, he's struggling. He's struggling with pre-season because he doesn't know who's going to be there
Yeah.
after the 9th of August.
Yeah.
So surely it's time to try. Like you say, pre-season, let's go and not make a complete fools of ourselves like we did in the first half.
Well, we lost there 2-0 last year at Rochdale.
Yeah,
didn't we,
we did.
pre-season?
Let's just go and try something, and then at least you can say, well, there was something different there. It wasn't the same old Boro.
Yeah. Just one last thing before we finish off for tonight. Transfer window I know it's finishing earlier this year, August 9th. In favour of it, not in favour of it? What do you think, lads?
I'm in favour if you've done your business and you want to keep your players.
Yeah.
But I also am worried that when you're in a position that we're in now, we haven't done the business, so I kind of wish it wasn't ending till December, kind of thing. It's
Like you say,
chicken and an egg, isn't it?
Whether it finishes the 9th of August, the 1st of September, there's always that chance you're going to lose your players, you know what I mean?
I just wish if we were, again, like I say, the communication in the club's died for me, because if we all think Traore is going to go, so why haven't we got him out? And then cracked on with the money we need to spend.
I just worry over 12 days away now from Millwall, and we still don't know who's coming in. We're well aware that Traore may leave, Gibson may leave, but who's coming in?
I don't doubt the club are working hard. I think they are behind the scenes. I think they're working really hard to bring players in, and they're trying to get the best deal possible for the club. But it's like, at what cost? You could be totally unsettled for the first 4, 5, 6 games of the season because players are still bedding their way in. But it's the same for everyone, I suppose, isn't it? It's a tough one.
And I think in this league, as we all know, you can be 16th in December and still get promoted.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not that I want that to happen, but you know, worst case scenarios that we do go and we have a poor opening, as you've got some of the fixtures there. We've got a hard 10 games really. Well, none of them are easy either in this league, but it's not the worst thing that can happen. It's not how we want to start again.
Yeah.
Well, especially after the way we started last year. Totally, it's the hardest league in the world to get out of the Championship.
I just think this season, the teams that are in, I think this is a rock hard league.
It's going to be a really tough season.
Millwall is the perfect gauge to start our season because they've brought in a couple of players. They haven't lost anyone. They're still in the same frame of mind. You'd like to think, but so that'll be a real gauge that opening day.
Yeah,
especially with they were really difficult to beat.
Yeah,
you know, at home.
Yeah,
their home record last season was
immense, wasn't it?
It's going to be a big game, and Boro fans, like I say, next week we're going to be previewing that match against Millwall, opening game of the season. We'll also do a preview of the entire season, so we'll look at those teams who we see as a threat to us if we're going to go up, hopefully, which sort of teams might be a bit of a dark horse. So we're going to look at all of that next week. Thanks for watching and joining us all this week. We've enjoyed it. Like I say, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Until next week, guys, up the Boro. Thanks for watching.
Up the Boro. Peace out.